Australians easy to open their heart to strangers?
I'd definitely say it is a case-by-case basis, but typically, yeah, Australians are very much an open book. We don't like to hide things, but you're going to find as a traveller or a non-Australian really backwards way of treating people. For instance, the meaner we are to you, the more we like you. Whether we drop the C-bomb very often, like, am I able to swear? Cool, we say cunt. Yeah, it's like, hey cunt, how you doing? Good cunt, shit cunt. Like you could literally go up to someone and go, you are the shit.
Is it just between of your friends, or you can come to any stranger? And
My mother calls me a cunt all the time.
it's your mom.
Yeah, like,
Maybe she's right.
It's normal.
But if it's like someone you don't know, you met just 5 minutes ago.
If an Australian ever calls you a cunt, it's the biggest compliment you're going to get. If an Australian calls you a friend, then you've done something wrong and they're not happy at all.
There's absolutely unique information you have to remember.
Yeah, backwards.
Backward. Able to live in trouble. So if you want to live in Australia, do you necessarily need to have a car, or you can use just public transport?
I grew up in a really small town and we have no public transport. If you don't have a car, you have to walk or your parents have to drive you. Whereas in the big cities, there's going to be public transport. But if you live there, you need to remember Australia is a massive, massive country. Lithuania itself fits inside Australia 117 times. If you live in Sydney and you want to check out the Great Barrier Reef, it's 2,000 kilometres away. Most of our population lives within a half an hour's drive from the beach because of so much of our land is uninhabitable. The entire cities, they expand outwards. So if you're living in the outskirts suburbs, you do have to drive in, and it may be a 20-kilometre drive to get to work. But because of the traffic, it can take 2 to 3 hours to get there. I do have one fortunate friend. He lives on the Gold Coast and works in Sydney. His company uses their private helicopter to fly him to work every single day. I was like, that's living. That's goals, right?
That's good,
yeah. But typically, yeah, if you want to work and live in Australia long term, it's best to have a car. As a traveller, two options, I would say. Number one, just base yourself in a place and fly to your destination. Or what a lot of travellers do, they rent wicked vans or wicked campers and just do a road trip around Australia. There's so many beaches and beautiful things to do. The ability to drive from Sydney to Melbourne, you're going to see things you'll never see anywhere else in the world.
Is it easy for you to rent their own apartment?
Oh, obviously, I think in many cultures, your family are always going to be there to support you. But in Australia, we do take our independence from a very young age. I personally started work when I was 13 years old. I earned $13 an hour, which is more than what a lot of people make when they're 30, which is incredible. And then by the age of 16, we can earn $20 to $25 an hour just to be a bartender or a waiter.
So it's kind of easier for you to rent an apartment because you can get the money since you are 13 years old, you can support yourself, you can find accommodation. This is absolutely not a problem, unlike in Italy.
Exactly right. So because we earn that money, as soon as we have the opportunity to take that independence, we either do one of two things. Like we're 18, we'll either go straight to university or we're going to go travel because we've been able to save up $20,000 to $30,000. We move away for uni or we go overseas. People don't stay at home any further than 19 or 20. At the age of 20 years old, you can buy a house. And that's like your own house, your own property, and that's like $200,000 to $300,000 debt. But we do have the ability to do that. You will find travellers typically will get an apartment. It's very, very affordable. But otherwise, you'll find a lot of Australians, we just buy our own house. We have our own yard. That way we can have our dogs, our animals, that kind of stuff. But yeah, we do like to have just a straight up townhouse.
So can you tell me the 3 things you love and hate about Australia?
I'd say the worst thing about Australia is 2-year flight to get there. It's just not worth it. I hate wanting to travel because it does take so long to get anywhere.
Yeah, it's still far away.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I don't like our language in terms of like we swear a lot, and I absolutely despise our politicians, but I hate politicians in every country. So the 3 things I like most, we do have one of the most biodiverse animal ecosystems on the planet. Over 80% of our plants and animals cannot be found anywhere else in the world. We've also got one of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet. We have the world's largest living organism, which is the Great Barrier Reef. We've also got the second densest forest in the world, which is the Blue Mountains. And we've also got over 80% of our country is completely uninhabitable because it's just complete barren desert.
So do you have indigenous people living there somewhere like in American resorts?
Yeah. We don't have reserves, but we do have Aboriginal people, and you'll find that we do have a lot of Aboriginal culture, and we even have an International Sorry Day from the day the white man invaded. Yeah, we definitely have the Indigenous culture.
So the last question would be, we'd like to give advices for tourists and travelers who would like to visit Australia for a very first time.
Just do it. Just do it. You're going to regret not going more than you're going to regret going. Book a flight, go out there and have fun. Australia isn't as dangerous as they say. It's not scary, and all the animals won't try to kill you. Just book a flight, go overseas, have some fun. If you can, why not?
Thank you very much for watching our video, guys. Please put like, dislike, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please let us know in comments below if you would like to know any other information about Australia or any other country. And I'm gonna see you next week.
And subscribe.
Ciao.
Look at you. Cheeky buddy.
I just forgot everything, even my name.
I went out for a few beers last night actually with my Australian mate and a guy called Dan who we met last night. He's from Copenhagen. We had 2 beers and we were calling him cunt.